What's up, everybody? It's Blaqs Unified. Oh man, this chat is already off the chain, man. No chaser in there getting that ruckus, talking about he's kissing ass, everything. That's crazy, man. What's going on? What's going on? So happy to be here this early morning Sunday, man. Literally, just rolled out of bed, breath stanking. Last shower I had was last night. Gotta wash your ass though. Gotta wash your behind. But yeah, that's the way it goes. Man, let's see who's in the chat. Alexis, we spoke earlier in the chat. Happy to see you this morning. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Ruckus, of course. Ride or die. Appreciate you being here. No chaser, man. Always, man. You always hold it down in the chat. Always holding it down. Appreciate you in everybody's chat. All my brothers and sisters. You're always holding it down for them, so I appreciate you for that, man. Thank you. So, man, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. It's Sunday morning, and I usually do my Sunday mornings or early Sunday mornings. It's a new thing that I decided to do because I do go to church and I do have a family of a lot, and there's always something happening over here, guys. Always something happening, but YouTube, as I learn it and I grow, it's something that I want to do. It's a way to get off the quote unquote corporate plantation, but also just to land right back on it, but maybe in a better position. But I digress. My mic is muted. No, seriously. But yeah, I'm here, man. First of all, as you may or may not know, I'm already monetized. So that's a beautiful thing. So at any point in time in the show, if you deem necessary or if you feel the inclination, you can always give a cash app, which is preferred, or a super chat, which is awesome as well, and a super sticker, which is awesome as well. Soon to come, I'll be having memberships, and then you guys can sign up for a brief membership with me. You'll get access to exclusive content that I'll be putting up, and then also just to support your boy, man, just like I support all of you, and I appreciate that. Anyway, man, there are a lot of goings on. We're at the top of the week now, Sunday being the first day of the week in some people's estimations and being the last day of the week in other people's estimation. Let me turn this doggone music completely off. I thought I just turned it down, which is not the case. Here we go. It's off. Good. I can't think with all that music playing in the background. But anyway, so yeah, there's been a lot of goings on last week, man. Harry Belafonte died. Jerry Springer died. The BI who was responsible for the killing of Emmett Till died. Free and, of course, without being accosted by the masses, which arguably she probably should have been. Also, the Ukraine thing is still happening. Tucker Carlson is out from Fox, but doing his thing on Twitter. And you still got people trying to convince you that being a transformer is okay, and telling your children that everything's fine with that, but it isn't, as we all know. But beyond that, hey, life is trudging on. About to have another child, and that's a beautiful thing. Just waiting for my wife to tell me, hey, my water's broke. Hey, that might even happen on this stream. Hey, you never know, guys. You never freaking know. But anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to talk briefly about that Tucker Carlson thing, man. You see, this man was fired from the now questionable Fox News. I mean, they've always been freaking questionable, but now they're even more questionable. And they felt the effects immediately, guys. They lost 17% of their worth in the stock market. They immediately saw a huge decline in watch hours on their network, and people are not happy whatsoever with their decision to act all these woke organizations. You have government officials lambasting Tucker Carlson, which lets you know that he lived rent free in their psyche. And they think that this has muzzled him, but it hasn't. It hasn't muzzled Tucker Carlson. And let me tell you, I'm not a complete diehard fan of Tucker whatsoever. It was just finally someone was using their voice that was platformed on a huge multi-billion dollar conglomerate platform and was willing to tell the truth. And we don't get that often, guys, or ever, really. And it's a shame that the powers that be want to quell the voices of the truth. It's not about, though engaging in the salacious and the crazy is appealing to a lot of people, even me. I'm not something special. Sometimes I want to see some BS, but I'd rather see someone tell me the truth of it. That's way more interesting. Wouldn't you guys agree? Isn't it way more interesting to know that the crazy that you thought couldn't happen was actually happening? I don't know. Perhaps I'm asking for too much. Perhaps I'm, being unreasonable to ask for the truth from those who claim to be bastions of it, right? News organizations claimed all of our lives that they are proponents of the truth. That's all they disseminate throughout the annals, right? Throughout the annals of television-dom and radio-dom and etc. Hence their reasoning for desiring that blue check mark that they have on various platforms that they now have to pay for. It's important that we have a place, at least one place, that we can search for the truth and not come up short. Right, man. We sure have all been groomed for the media. Ruckus. Definitely. We've all been groomed for social media, and it's sad. Social media and media, yeah. It's sad. We don't know how to deal with anything else besides what they tell us. Hence Operation Mockingbird and the like, being able to push and indoctrinate us with all this nonsense. Also, you see the destruction of the home. No fathers in the home, which is always a detriment. No mothers in the home, which is always a detriment. Children raising themselves. Constant upheaval. And then what is the government's response to you? What do they say needs to happen? Oh, well, instead of doing what we're supposed to do, what we've been hired to do, instead of legislating and using the legislature for what it was designed to do, we'll just take your guns. Yeah, we'll take every one of your weapons and we'll call it safety. Because, those people who go and get their weapons legitimately are the ones causing the issue. So we need to make sure we have more parameters in place to do so. Hey, state of Washington, boom, can't have any type of AR platformed weapon, scars, anything that's semi-automatic, they've banned. So basically, you got to go back to the to the mortar and pistol days and make sure you have your wide mouth musket on hand if somebody decides to come at you and steal your children away in the night, or come into your home in the middle of the night and try and break in, or during the day when you're going about your business, hijack you, carjack you, etc., strong arm rob you. You don't have any defense. Oh, well, everybody should learn a self-defense. Everybody should learn Krav Maga, and everybody should learn karate or BJJ, because this is a movie, right? We're all in John Wick, and we can all kill people with pencils. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. The age of the citizen of the United States is swiftly coming to an end. Everybody better be ready, man. You're going to be world citizens. And then before you know it, you're going to have to get your world ID, your world passport, your world endorsed social security number, your world endorsed birth certificate, because that's where they want to go. They want you down and them up. Let's talk about the housing market briefly. Can you just think about it, guys? Just barely over 2 years ago, you were able to purchase an affordable house. You were able to live affordably. It's baffling, isn't it? I mean, I have to rake my brain every day. I think about how the prices have just skyrocketed in the course of a year and some change. The Fed claims that they are trying to quell the inflation, trying to stop it by increasing rates. But guys, we're getting no reprieve whatsoever. Historically, rates for your housing, well, in the last 10 years, were about 3.5%. And if you had a really good credit score, you could get it way below that. Now you're looking at you're looking at best 6%, and probably higher than that. And don't forget, May 1st, you get your penalizing tax, that 1% on top of everything else you have to pay monthly, an extra 1%. That's what you get for following laws. That's what you get for being a studious consumer. That's what you get for being responsible. They reward you with a higher tax. Wow. Just wow. I want you guys to think about it. Right now, on average, 6%, 6.5% is what you'll be paying to the bank on a monthly basis. I'm sorry. On a yearly basis. That's not even monthly. On a yearly basis, that's what you will be paying. Monthly, it's even more. So let's break it down. If you have a 6.5%, APR on a mortgage, and your mortgage was around $400,000, that means your monthly payment for just the mortgage is $2,400 a month. Okay? Then let's talk about insurance. Let's talk about taxes. Let's talk about that 1%. You'll be paying about $3,500 a month just to live. Nearly $4,000 a month just to have a place to call your own. And let's be honest, monthly, most people aren't making $4,000 a month in their one job. Then you have Two, let's say you are fortunate enough to have a wife. You're a man, you have a wife, and she works. So now you guys are bringing in a whopping $8,000 a month, which is nothing. Together, you're bringing in $8,000 a month. Now you're being double taxed by the United States government because it's just the two of you. You don't have any children. You're being double taxed because it's just you and your spouse. So they're going to tax you hard. You don't have any dependents. And where's your money going? It's still going to the government, not to you. You can't pocket any. No reprieve. No reprieve. And then you, at least before, you had Social Security and retirement to look forward to. Not anymore. All that money is going to the Ukraine. Plus, it was already being fleeced anyway by the powers that be. So we're still at a loss. We're still losing. We can't win for losing. And it's insane. So that's what we're dealing with, people. The housing market is being decimated. Supply and demand is ridiculous. There's no supply. They can't build them fast enough. And if they did, people can't afford them. A guy like me who didn't plan on living here for over 3.5 years, I got a hold now because though the inflation has served to increase the value of my home, where would I go if I sold it? Where would I go if I sold my home right now? Nowhere. I go into the poorhouse because it doesn't matter what I could make. I stand to make, if I sold this house right now, I stand to make about $250,000 in profit, give or take, if I sold this house. Problem is, a house comparable to the one that I'm in costs triple or four times more as much as the house it cost when I purchased it. That's amazing. So my profit, I'd have to put that down as a down payment. Okay. And it would only pay for a fourth of the home. My God, only a fourth, a quarter of it. What's going on, everybody new in the chat? Cold Truth, what's going on, brother? What's going on, Cyber? It's good to see you. Good to see everybody here. Thank you for rocking with me today, this morning. I know I didn't have it scheduled. Otherwise, I'd have more people here, but that's fine. Day ones always show up, and I appreciate that, always. Make sure you guys are giving to the Cash App. Make sure you guys are super chatting. Make sure you guys are super stickering. Every little bit helps to get me off this corporate plantation and to continue to make good, fun, sometimes wholesome, not always wholesome content for you guys. So yeah, housing market is crazy. And then think about those people who are just now entering the housing market, who want to just live on their own. You got 30 somethings staying with their parents still, when before they were able to at least get an apartment. Manhattan's apartment costs right now for a no room condo, okay, not even one room, for a studio. Do you know the cost of a studio? It's not even guaranteed that you have a kitchenette in there or a bathroom. Probably have one of those communal bathrooms like the people like in hostels. You know how much it costs? About $4,000 a month. Okay. No, I didn't stutter. Okay. $4,000 a month just to have a place to lay your head down, so you can re-enter the rat race in the morning or in the evening, because New York is a hell of a town, sleepless. But you also might get robbed there because they're lawless as well. Thank you, Eric Adams, and the lot, and those idiots who voted for him, which is all of New York. New York sucks. Sorry, Black Thoughts. New York does suck hard. Beyond that, let's not even get into the car crisis. Okay? Dealerships can't sell these things. They can't give them away. Because what was once affordable through monthly payments is now incomprehensibly, exorbitantly priced. Think about it. If you bought, I don't know, a middle of the road car. What's a middle of the road car? Somebody tell me. What, an Explorer? An Explorer. It's not luxury, it's not a fast car, a super fast car, unless you get like a turbo package on it or something. Right now, an Explorer fully loaded is about 60, 65,000 or more. And then they're still talking about 60-month car loans. So then 60 months on the car loans, with the rates being what they are, 8%. I was like, they're talking about 8%, because I'm looking for a new car too. 8%. You're paying like $1,600 a month for a car. For a car. That's rent. For a car whose engine won't last 300,000 miles. You doggone right, Mayo. And right. And look, Mayo, they're doing 6 to 10 year car notes. That doesn't even help the blow. Because even if they parsed it from 9 years, you're still paying $600 a month. Now, you used to pay $600 a month on a top of the line car, one that was some sort of luxury. 600. And that seemed crazy, but you knew you weren't going to purchase a car like that if you didn't have the money to pay for it. $600 a month for a $75,000 car is reasonable, because you're still within 60 months. You're still, if you're really pushing it, you'll go up to 72. But there's no way. Yes, Mayo, it's amazing. 400 more than your house payment. It's insane. Who can afford to live in this hellscape? But that's their plan. You will own nothing and like it. You will own nothing and like it. And only the uber rich can afford these exorbitant prices. Classism at its best. Nothing wrong with a little classism, as long as you have the ability to climb out of your previous class into an upper. But they're making even that difficult. And then the people that we place on pedestals, it's insane. Celebrity. Your celebrity is all that matters. They get paid ridiculously well just to trick you into buying Balenciaga, those pedos. What's up, Locksmith? To buying Michael Kors, to buying Louis Vuitton, to buy all these names that don't matter. They don't help put food on your table. You can't eat it. It doesn't make you fly. You can't get from one side of the continent faster if you put Balenciaga in your gas tank. It doesn't help you when you go to work. It's just status symbols. And that's what we adore, status symbols. I have a rule in my house. If I can't use it or eat it to make my life better here, something that I can actually use, like a garden tool, or something that will help clean something or help my vehicle work better, then I don't need it. And I'm still getting rid of a lot of stuff that I don't need. And it's difficult because your body and mind wants it. You've been indoctrinated to be a consumer. You don't make anything. None of us make anything. We don't manufacture anything. Personally, I'm not even talking about on a mega level. I'm just saying we don't garden. Nobody knows how to woodwork anymore. Husbandry is dead. If you grew up in an era where you had to use husbandry skills, then you're better off. You're more apt to survive what's coming. Can't start a fire on your own, don't know how to do it. I remember the other day, we were on here and someone asked who Benedict Arnold was. I couldn't freaking believe it. That's American History 101. But then again, I should not have been surprised because American history is not taught anymore. At least actual American history isn't taught anymore. Now it's some crazy amalgamation, some bastardized version, some everybody should be upset that they're Americans version, as we're told on a daily basis. But back to the cars. The cars are ridiculously and exorbitantly priced. Middle of the road cars. How can you afford it? But you still have to go to work, right? You still have to get your behind up and get that behind to work, right? And in an age where CEOs are firing people who want to stay home from work, which is their right, their right to do, but it's a hell of a time to do it because it is almost incomprehensibly unaffordable to commute to work on a daily basis just to sit there for 8 hours or more. That's insane. Think about it. Lyft just changed CEOs April 17th. And the day after that, he fired 26% of his corporate staff. Now, maybe the majority of that is middle management, but not all. 26%, about 1,000 employees they fired because they were running at 110%. They were running bloated. But then his very next comment was, all hands, you need to come back to work. You still need to come back to work. You need to be in the office 3 days a week. And then after the fourth quarter, we'll be looking at Tuesdays as well. They're trying to slowly get people back into offices, which they should, in a sense. But even if they did, could people afford it? Could people afford the commuting prices? Stimulating the economy isn't pumping more money into it. Stimulating the economy means you need to create manufacturing. That's how economies are stimulated. Why do you think China was doing so well? They're starting to decline. They're on the decline and they know it because they can't have children. But we're not too far behind. We're about 2.1 children less every day than before. And it's been that way for the last 20 years. Because people are aborting their children. And we've absorbed the lie. Beyond that, back to the point. To stimulate an economy, you need a product. And we need to be making that product. If we're not making products, and I don't mean putting it together from China, okay? I don't mean China shipping me the pieces and then I hire people to put it together. I mean, we fabricated everything here in America. We may get materials from different continents, but we need to be fabricating and designing things here in America at large, in continental America, mainland America. Otherwise, we'll go the way of some of the major cities that we have here in America, such as Detroit, which is being rebuilt on consumerism. That's not going to last. We'll go the way of Chicago. Chicago's population is now at pre-1950s level. That's how many people are leaving there. 500,000 people last year alone left Chicago for greener pastures. So you have CEOs who want people to come back to work for menial, mediocre tasks. Sit on a computer all day, take calls. Sit in forever meetings. A meeting for a meeting for a meeting. Nothing moving the needle. I should add, nothing is moving the needle. You're just sitting there and talking and then getting fat. You know what I mean. Those of you guys who are still on the corporate plantation. Payway. Oh, hey guys, I got Payway. Subway, donuts in the morning. They get you those little kolaches, kolaches, however you pronounce the word right now. The little sausages in a doggone blanket. Coffee, sweet drinks, potlucks ad nauseum to keep you fat and lazy and unthoughtly. Okay, no thought process whatsoever. Thoughtless people. Just drones getting fat and dying. And Mayo, Payway does kick ass. It's delicious. But do you need it every day? In cow portions. Putting it, you're sitting at your cubicle and your manager brings in $1,000 worth of Payway and it's sitting on a counter, flies all around it. You don't care. You're still going in there grazing on that food throughout your 8-hour shift, eating 4,000 calories a day and then burning none. It's a wonder people have hypertension issues, increasingly having heart attacks, diabetics, Diabetes, diabetes mellitus, mellitus, which AKA the sugars, because you don't control your sugar intake, which is everything sugar. Everything you eat is laced with it and salt. No water. Everybody's drinking carbonated beverages to stay awake. Everybody's drinking caffeine to stay awake. And oh, and particularly Star Schmucks caffeine laced with sugar syrups. And what are you doing with all those calories? Nothing. You're sitting there taking a call. Hello, this is Blaqs Who Defy. Uh, thank you for calling ADP. How can I help? How can I assist? Well, blah, blah, blah. Oh, sir, yes. Let me check that out right now. Let me get on the computer. Oh, that's exactly what's happening. Oh, let me help you out there. I'm so sorry that this is happening to you, but rest assured, sir, we'll be here to assist you in everything that you need for hours. It's no wonder that jobs like that are being outsourced to places like Hyderabad, India, the Philippines, Mexico. You have to understand that it is not going to get any better whatsoever at all. So you have to find what you're going to do to get your piece of whatever pie while the getting is good. Period. Full stop. So the prices for gas are up. Prices for transportation are up. You have no way to get to work in a timely fashion. Roadways are clogged. And we have an old man president sitting at the helm. Nobody pay attention to that man behind the curtain over there. If you don't get that reverence, watch Wizard of Oz. Mayo, you're right. Finding somebody on the phone who speaks English is nearly impossible. But this is what we have signed up for, guys. This is what we have inculcated through our voting or non-voting. For every step forward we take about 10 to 20 back. And they call that progress. So yes, cars are exorbitantly priced. You can't afford them anymore. Hold on to what you have. Keep fixing it. You'll come out a lot. I remember when buying a new car was cheaper than fixing the old. Not anymore. And they're consistently getting people with all these flashy gadgets they got on them. You walk up, touch the handle, it starts as long as you have the key. No more shifter. It's a button shift, which is stupid. Which means it's no longer mechanical. You can't stop the car. And then you become a 120-mile projectile that you can't control. I wasn't talking about Tesla. And I am. That means I am. If you didn't get my sarcasm. Yes. And they're getting people with them. The newest ones. But they still can't afford them. So in the third quarter or into the fourth or the beginning of the fourth quarter, you'll start to see all these cars. You'll start to see the dealerships bartering and trading. They're going to start lowering the prices. And you're right, locksmith. The whole car is a freaking computer. But you'll start to see people bartering. You're going to see these car dealerships starting to lower their prices even more so now because they can't get rid of the inventory. Can you imagine being one of the fleet? They have whole fleets of salesmen out there. Being one of them, trying to make your bones, and you can't because nobody's purchasing your vehicles. It's insane. Something's got to give, guys, and it looks like it's going to be us. It's going to be the American populace. What was the other thing that I wanted to say? Oh, good old Nancy Pelosi, aka Demon Wings herself. Good old Beelzebub. So that demon went over to Taiwan last year, to appear like she was being strong. But if you know anything about her stock market dealings, she was really going over there using American resources and security to check on her and her husband's investments. What investments you may ask? I'll tell you. Semiconductors, chips. Everything has them. Your car windows, your vehicle has them all through your vehicle. Your televisions, your cell phones, your computers, your stoves, your ovens, your microwaves. Anything that has a button, pretty much, has a chip in it. And of course, America outsourced, like we always do, the manufacturing of all the chips that we use to a Asian, a southeastern country, Taiwan. Now, the investment was sure. When Trump was in office, China wasn't looking at trying to take over Taiwan, but it's becoming a stark reality that might just happen. So she's pulling her money out, and she is investing in new manufacturing plants here in America. Intel, which is, I think Intel is based in North Carolina, South Carolina. Intel makes chips. So does there was another one in I can't remember the name of it. There's a couple here in America that do small batches, but now they're about to create gigafactories themselves. And all their money, just look at her portfolio, see where she's investing. Samsung isn't making any more chips. They were one of the world's foremost chip manufacturers as well. That's why they were able to put out these phones at such cheap prices, because they were making it up on the back end. But guess who was manufacturing Samsung's chips? Drum roll, please. China. And yes, Mayo, NVIDIA. That's the name of the chip manufacturer that I was looking for. And I'm telling you, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. I'll invest in it. In fact, I've already invested in it. Oh, yeah, Mayo. That's exactly why Samsung is buying your old phones at such high prices. And that's why I'm not giving it back. They're trying to salvage chips. electronics, trying to get precious metals out of there, or trying to get all the pieces that they need to continue their business out of those old phones. Absolutely, Conchanery. So yeah, it would behoove, if everybody's looking for an investment, it would behoove you to get into chips, because everything needs them, and everything increasingly will need them, because everything's going the way of AI. Everything's going more electronic. Marcus, what's up, brother? Great to have you here. Thanks for showing up. Hey guys, again, this is a great moment to remind you the Cash App's at the bottom. Please give to the Cash App, Blaqs. Also, remember, the super chat button is working. Please give super chats, and please give super stickers. Every little bit helps. I appreciate it in advance. Thank you so much, because none of this, I repeat, none of this is free. But anyway, superconductors and chips, everybody needs them, man. Now it would behoove you to find your niche in this market and start capitalizing on it. Let's see. Let me let these dudes. Oh, Mayo Monkey with a $10 super chat. Thank you, brother. Thank you for always helping out. Thank you for keeping me honest. Let me see. Cool. Yeah. Mayo, my man, 100 grand, man. Thank you, sir, for that Cash App. But yeah, guys, that's where we're headed. We're headed to oblivion. Hey, Mayo, absolutely. My country living grain mill doesn't eat anything but wheat. hey, nobody, hey, hand turned, hand cranked, and gas fed, and what you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Just old tech is where it's at. Well, look, if it's gas operated or if it's diesel operated, you may be in a bind, sir. If it's anything but hand cranked, you're still fucked. Because they are doing their best to make sure you don't have any fuel sources. They're doing their best to make sure electricity and the infrastructure that supports said electricity is all that you have access to. It's getting to the point, unless you're a hacker, man, or unless you're some cyber aficionado, whew, you're not going to be able to live much longer. Manufacturing is where it's at, guys. And let's talk about these bastards who are coming up behind us, man. The bastards that are coming up behind us are deplorable. They don't know how to do anything, to their detriment. And it doesn't matter if it's onesies or twosies who get up there and do anything. That doesn't matter whatsoever. It's not enough to move the needle. You have hundreds of millions of people who are destitute, who don't know, who don't have any skills, any tangible skills. Can't build anything, can't work with their hands, can't even do yard work. It's amazing. And we don't have the workforce smart enough to do anything. But whose fault is that? I blame parents for sure, but I also blame the powers that be for the insidious indoctrination that they have proliferated on people. And it truly is insidious. You can't make it out here without a skill, guys. Yeah, schools. Schools are the reason. And that's what I'm saying. The powers that be. And then we hire these forever politicians at every level: school board, homeowners association, city managers, mayors, senators, aides to senators, governors, House representatives. We're up the river without a paddle. And it's sad. Here's the question: what are you going to do, though? What are we going to do about it? Because I rightly don't know. I don't know what to do about it. Besides what I'm doing. Yes, conscionery. They do. And all we're doing is sitting back and allowing it to happen. For every skilled person who leaves the workforce, no. The statistic is for every 5 skilled people who leave the workforce, we only have 2 to replace. And that number is dwindling. What do I mean by skilled workers? People who are foremen on building projects, people who fix diesel engines, people who work on, I don't know, oil fields, people who are electricians, people who are plumbers, all the people who make all the infrastructure go around. We're losing. So the question is, again, what do we do? Do we sit and allow it to happen? Let's see. Let's look at the job market 2023. Good old U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics. Let's see. Let's look at Texas. And let's look at Texas employment and unemployment. No, I don't want to ask. Skilled work shortage. Here we go. Let's share this screen and let's talk about this shortage here. Okay. So this is from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, written by Stephanie Ferguson, published April 7th. So at the beginning of this month, about 28, 29 days. No, I can't do math. 21 days ago, 22 days ago, 23. All right. We hear every day from our member companies of every size and industry across nearly every state. They're facing unprecedented challenges trying to find enough workers to find open jobs. Right now, the latest data shows that we have over 10 million jobs openings in the US, but only 5.7 million unemployed workers. We have a lot of jobs, but not enough workers to fill them. See, that's a farce. There's way more than 5.7 million people who are out of work. Let's continue. If every unemployed person in the country found a job, we would still have 4 million open jobs. The U.S. Chamber is capturing the trends on job openings, labor force participation, quit rates, and more for a quick understanding of the state of the workforce in our America Works data center. Read on for analysis, etc. How did this happen? At the height of the pandemic, more than 120,000 businesses temporarily closed. So basically, this was orchestrated. It was done to us. This didn't happen through osmosis. It was done to us. And more than 30 million U.S. workers were unemployed since then. And not by, and it was also this, let's break that number down. That was by choice, a lot of it. I'd say maybe a third of that number had to be unemployed. The rest of the people saw that they were making more money being unemployed. And then why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they quit, right? If the government is going to subsidize your living. Well, we did it to ourselves. Let's continue. Since then, job openings have steadily increased. Since January 2020, while unemployment has slowly declined. It hasn't. Unemployment is increasing and rapidly. It's not slowly declining. Overall, in 2022, employers ended up adding an unprecedented 4.5 million jobs. No, they didn't. This is them fudging the numbers once again, no, they didn't. You're not going to give Joe Biden an alley like that, man. But at the same time, millions of Americans have been leaving the labor force since before the pandemic. In fact, we have nearly 3 million fewer Americans participating in the labor force today compared to February of 2020. And why do you think that is? Okay, why do you think people aren't participating in the labor market anymore? They're not participating in the labor market because they hadn't had to in the interim. America was willing to subsidize their living. I mean, what would you do if they said, hey, Blacks, You don't have to work. Are you being discriminated against? Yeah, it doesn't factor in the quiet quitters, Mayo. Hey, Blacks, you don't have to work. Are you being discriminated against? Do you just feel like you shouldn't have to do this job? No worries. Go ahead and quit. We'll pay you 3 to 4 grand a month of unemployment benefits. And you'll be just fine, brother. You'll be just fine. Or more. Some people were making 7 grand a month when they had that COVID kicker that they were adding to people, right? That extra amount to make sure you were able to pay your bills. Let's continue. Labor force participation. There would be 1.8 million more workers today if labor force participation was the same as in February 2020. What does that tell you? That tells you that the leadership as it is has effed in the American workforce. That's a direct correlation to who's leading the country. Understanding the gap. Right now, the labor force participation rate is 62.6%, down from 63.3%. In February 2020, I would wager that number is a lot less than what they have now. It's down way further than 62.6%. It's clear that able workers are being overlooked or sitting on the sidelines. No, they're not being overlooked. They're just not participating. But there's not just one reason that workers are sitting out, but several factors have come together to cause the ongoing shortage. Please do tell. The U.S. Chamber surveyed unemployed workers who lost their jobs during the pandemic on what is keeping them from returning to work. 27% indicated that the need to be home and care for children or other family members has made the return to work difficult or impossible. Well, that is partly true. Childcare is exorbitantly priced. You can't afford it. Have you seen what these people are paying for it? But again, people have to have a 2-person income to maintain their households. So gone are the days where mommy can stay at home. I mean, largely gone are the days when mom can stay at home and dad goes and works and provides for the family. That's becoming more and more of an impossibility as the day trudges on. And then, especially now, who would want their children in today's hellscape, ninth circle of hell that we're living in school, the way that they are indoctrinating them? Forces people to work harder, man. And if it's anything I've learned, people have an aversion to hard work. Let's continue. More than a quarter, 28%, indicated that they have been ill and their health has taken priority over looking for work. Ill how? Does everybody have some incomprehensible disease that they can't work with or overcome? I don't think that's the case. A lot of it is mental anguish. They are coming to the realization that they can't live this flashy T.I., Jay-Z, Beyonce, all the rest of them lifestyle that they've been told that they'd be able to live if they were just to go to school, go to college, get a degree, go get a job, work for corporate America, and you'll have all of that, right? That was the big lie. In addition to the factors outlined below, the survey also revealed some are still concerned over the CV-19 at work, indicate that pay is too low, or are more focused on acquiring new skills and education before re-entering the job market. So look, that is an ample excuse, the CV-19. But guess what? That's one that they've allowed over the last almost 3 years. They've allowed that to be the excuse. So don't get mad at them if they use it. Also, pay is too low. Let's get that out of the way now. Pay is too low for the way inflation is going. I'm not going to sit and work 8 hours a day for $21 an hour, which nets me nothing at the end of the month. Nets me nothing. Once I get all my pay, I'm paid out everything that I'm owed, I might have $250 to my name to spend on whatever or save. And then you have a moral debacle on whether or not you should spend it or save it, because you don't have any social cushion at the end of your days. Yes, millions of illegals, Mayo, has sunk wages in this country. Absolutely. I mean, think about it. And I and I've always said this along with a lot of you guys. Why would I pay you your weight when I can pay this person 3 times less than what you want? That's the allure of slave wages. People are willing to take it because they're used to less, and they will do it happily and work 10 times harder than you. But that's by design, folks. That isn't through happenstance. That's absolutely, positively by design. Let's continue this reading. National job openings versus number of unemployed workers. So we're upside down. Though this number, 5.9 million job openings, this number, 5.9 million unemployed workers, should go a little further up. there's a lot more. They're quelling the numbers for a reason. That's to make good old Joe Green look better. Factors contributing to the labor shortage: an increase in savings, enhanced unemployment benefits, stimulus checks, and not being able to go out and spend money during the lockdown all contributed to Americans collectively adding $4 trillion to their savings accounts since 2020. No. People were spending that bag. They were spending that money. What savings? I've blown through mine, and not on things trivial. Not to buy that latest bag, not to go on trips. It's all been to fix stuff. What are they talking about? We 4 trillion may have been injected into the economy, but that's why we're having inflation now, not because people aren't spending money. Again, that's that lie. You don't stimulate an economy by injecting printed dollars into it. You stimulate an economy by manufacturing. You manufacture, people spend money on that which is manufactured here. The money stays with us, and we don't have to outsource. We don't have to print legal tender against the debt. Anyway, Economics 101. The extra few $100s a week from enhanced unemployment benefits, which ended in September 21, especially led to 68% of claimants earning more or unemployment than they did while working. In the Chamber's November 2022 survey, 23% of women cited others in the family making enough money that working full-time is not as critical as the reason they have not re-entered the workforce. Higher income and savings bolstered people's economic stability, allowing them to continue sitting out of the workforce. I don't know where they're getting this savings nonsense. Nobody saved money. Yes, it is 4 to 6 times that, Mayo. And that's my point. It should be going, it should be much higher. But you know what? Let me open up the chat. Okay. I'll drop this link here, guys. I should have posted it because I don't know how to get into that. Uncle Tom showed me how to get into my studio, my YouTube studio, and monitor the chat through there. But man, I'm a little stupid because I sure did forget how to do it. He'll have to come up and show me again. But anyway, the link is out. Please, if you feel and have the inclination, come and join, and I'll bring you up. But until then, I'll continue with my reading. Early retirements. As of October 2021, the pandemic drove more than 3 million adults into early retirement. That's true. In all, the number of adults 55 and older being detached from the labor force due to retirement grew from 48.1% in quarter three of 2019 to 50.3% in quarter three in 2021. See, that's that statistic that I was telling you guys before. For every 5 skilled labor that leaves the workforce, we only have 2 to replace them. Only 2. Skilled. I'm not talking about anybody. I'm talking about people who have the skills, who went to some sort of trade school or was the apprentice to someone to get said skills to be able to utilize them in the workforce. And the reality of those people who are 55 and above who left the workforce, the lifestyle that they thought that they would be able to live, it's not coming to fruition at all. Instead, they're finding themselves having side jobs and side hustles on top of their retirement. And then their retirement is not even guaranteed. Lack of access to childcare. Now, that's what we were talking about earlier. Let's see who's joining. Here's Mayo. What's up, Mayo, brother? What's going on, sir?
Morning.
Cool, man. It's a doozy, man. Just talking about, well, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
All
yeah.
this nonsense. Lack of access of childcare. Even before the pandemic, a lack of access to high quality, affordable childcare was an issue. Research from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation found that due to breakdowns in childcare systems, the state surveyed Alaska, Arkansas, Arizona, Missouri, and Texas missed an estimate average of $2.7 billion annually for their economies. A recent report. Well, go ahead.
Look at the states they used for that
Yes.
number, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was. Yep.
High single parent states.
High
Run
single.
up the numbers.
Yeah. This is what they do. That's what I'm saying. They're fudging the numbers. They
and
have.
there's the lack of child care because of regulation.
Yep.
Or I should say overregulation.
Overregulation is bloated. People can't live, without the government being in their pocket. Fees, taxes. Fees are nothing but taxes. So everybody, you can't make a dollar edgewise without the government, the United States government of hell, being being in your pocket, some shape, form, or fashion. A recent report from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation and the Education Trust shows that the pandemic created a vicious cycle for the industry to return to work. Workers need reliable childcare. They also need to be reliable workers. But providers are facing immense challenges themselves. The pandemic forced many childcare providers to close or scale down between February and April 2020. The industry lost 370,600 jobs, 95% of which were held by women. Unfortunately, the recovery has not been swift. As late as September 2021, childcare industry employment remained 10% lower than pre-pandemic levels. That's not anything new. There's always a need for more childcare.
Well, also, they were the ones that killed it by keeping healthy
Everything.
kids out of schools.
Yes.
They
They killed it.
forced all these people to stay home
Yep. They
to
forced
watch
them
their
to,
kids because they took schools away.
and now they're mad about it. Now they want to chastise and penalize people who don't want to leave. You can't put Pandora back in the box.
Well,
What
and once your business fails, you're
you're
not
not
likely to get back in that business
exactly.
when times get better.
Yep, you're not apt to do it. I wouldn't do it, even if I know the business. I wouldn't do it because
No.
it lets you know how fleeting it is. The government can just change regulations without laws. No laws were passed. It was just mandates.
Yeah.
You could just tell me I can't do something, but the law says one thing, but you can override the law somehow. It's insane. It's insane.
Well, you may be able to get judicial relief in say 8 years.
It's ridiculous. Oh my. Additionally, women are participating women are participating in the labor force, the lowest rate since the 1970s. Hey, look, no more I am woman, hear me roar. Was it in numbers that can't be ignored? In the spring of 2020, 3.5 million mothers left their jobs for good reason. They should have left their damn jobs. You're a mother. Driving the labor force participation rate for working moms from around 70% to 55%. The number is improving, but it is not fully rebounded. Women realized that their place is not in the workforce. Not like that anyway. Side jobs, part-time jobs, yes. Full-fledged careers plus being a mother, impossible.
But it wasn't decided by them. It was decided for them.
Yes, it was decided for them, but now they are upset that that these mothers are saying,
They
you know what? Thanks for making the decision and made it easier for me. I'm not coming back.
Yeah, they can't have it both ways,
Exactly,
which is what they want.
which is exactly what they want.
Look,
No, the problem.
we'll
The
have
problem.
87,000 new IRS agents to look over all those Door Dashers and
Yeah,
side
DoorDashers,
hustle businesses.
Ubers, Grub Hubs, strippers, all the money that they can't account for. They're coming after you, boy. They're gonna look at and it's real easy to do. They look at your cost of living. They look at what you're driving, everything, just the things that you don't think about, and then they extrapolate a number. This is what you owe us based upon what you drive, what you live in, where you eat. They look
Oh
at
yeah.
it all.
Oh yeah, he eats out too much. Let's see
Yep.
where his money's coming from.
Yep. What was that rule that they made? That law they passed for Cash App and
Oh,
and
like $200 or something.
yeah, what was it? $600 historically. Like if you make six
Oh,
hundred dollars
annually.
annually throughout the year,
Yeah.
then it sets off alarms, and now you have to be taxed on that number. We're trying
Oh,
to close the gap. Come on.
and even the way they figured that, if you made $50 a month, they're going to tag you for making that $50 every month.
Yep.
So that's going to put you in that bracket for that.
It sure will.
Off of one deposit.
Imagine being taxed on $600 for a year. That's
Oh, wait till they
amazing.
start coming after the people that are selling cars on Facebook Marketplace
Oh yeah,
and motorcycles and boats and trailers.
that's bound to happen, brother. That's bound to happen. New business starts. In the spirit of entrepreneurship, some employees either left work to stay unemployed to open their own businesses. Over the last 2 years, nearly 10 million new business applications were filed. And in 2020 alone, more than 4 million new businesses were started.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
everybody
they
has a
were given
barbershop.
PPP loans.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody
Well,
has a
most of
barber
those were
shop.
started on PPP loans,
Exactly. You
and
see what
they've
I'm
done
saying?
nothing with them. Yep, they've
It's
done
it
nothing with them.
whatsoever. Is not injecting. They try and take a stark, dire situation and introduce levity, and there's no way. These are lies and salacious lies. Here you are telling me that all these businesses were started during that time, and you neglect to give context. You neglect to say after all those businesses were started, we had an uptake in fraud for the Small Business Administration. People stealing money from the United States government that we had to try and recoup, which they will never recoup.
Now they're not even going to try if it was under what, $100,000.
That's true.
They're not even looking at them.
The Great Reshuffle. Meanwhile, there has been a great reshuffle among workers. Oh, really? That's what you're calling it. The Great Resignation worked its way into the vocabulary as a shift of our labor force started to become apparent. And the hashtag quit talk, I've never heard that, even went viral on social media. Users posted about quitting their jobs in search for free time or better opportunities. A full 4.2 million people quit their jobs in November 2022, but hiring has outpaced quits since November 2020, hovering around 4%. That's not true.
Well, no, because all those office jobs were rehired as fast food jobs.
Yep. The great resignation, workers quitting their jobs, has risen sharply over the last year. Individuals who quit their jobs, 3.8 million. Yeah, again, why would I work if you're going to give me free money? These reasons above help illuminate the current labor shortage landscape, but the examples are non exhaustive. Understanding why workers are missing from unfilled jobs is only half of the equation. The next step is addressing the labor shortage is to implement solutions to attract and retain new workers is underway. Learn about how blase blah skippy. No, you don't need to attract new workers. You need to have people just get it in gear. And you shouldn't have done what you did in the first place. Like I said, you've
Oh,
opened Pandora's box, and now you are upset about what came out of it.
yeah, you start austerity measures, the
Yep.
cutting back of programs.
LA, you ain't got no room to talk, you bastard. Hooked on phonics. You better learn to read first before you come at me, sir. But anyway,
Don't
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't shut these programs off all at once,
Yes. Don't shut the
but
program.
cut the benefits amount off over time.
Exactly. And that will
Because
force you.
SNAP was made to supplement your food bill, not pay the
Not pay
entirety
for it.
of it.
Exactly. Not pay for the entirety. And
You know,
then, but
don't. Oh,
the
go ahead.
loudest mouth gets fed. That's why they have these think tanks and marketing corporations put together all these protests and loudmouth people, not to be misconstrued with loudmouth flavors. Go there and get you about 15 of those. Anyway, uh, who come up and out of nowhere, you've never seen them before, and they go talking about nothing, things they know nothing about. They just get up there and they talk, and people listen. Politicians, you know, get to push their agenda. Another fluff bill with 30,000 pages of fluff, and they get it passed without any opposition because the people wanted this. We've heard the people, and the people wanted this. So they'll name it Don't Beat Up Chinese People Act.
Or the Inflation Reduction Act. It does nothing
Or,
to reduce inflation.
which does nothing to reduce inflation. And what it did was make sure inflation proceeded as it was and worse. and made sure that the politicians who signed the bill and endorsed it got their coffers filled. It's insane, man. It's insane. But what do? We have to live. We have to continue moving forward unless we just sit in a corner in a ball and wait for the spirit to take us.
I mean, at this point, uh, unless you had cohesive leadership for 5 terms, I don't think it's savable. I really don't.
You're right.
I don't think you could turn it around.
Well, this train is steadily chugging along, and there's no stopping it.
You can't fix the track until it's derailed if nobody wants to stop the train.
Yep. Nobody's stopping this train, man. Not even those who are painted as conquering heroes. They're not trying to stop the train. Maybe slow it down by introducing a hill or two that it has to climb up and work a little harder to get up. But once it gets up that hill, it has to go down.
Yeah, and nobody.
Mm-hmm.
They're not talking about the next real estate apocalypse.
No, they're not.
Which is business properties and office space and retail.
Yep. But again, people are like, "Oh man, this is going to be another 2008." I'm like, "No, because we don't have ninja loans anymore. It's not ninja loans. They are scrutinizing where you get your money." But
did you see that new program where if you have low credit, you'll get a discount?
I was just talking about.
If you have high credit, you pay a fee.
Yeah, I was just talking about. I was just on. Listen, you for your reward for working hard and maintaining your status quo, not having much revolving debt, paying your bills on time, abstaining from that trip you wanted to take. Also, you could have a nice place for you and your family to dwell. Your reward for that is to pay 1% tax on an already exorbitantly priced market. Remember, I broke the numbers down. $400,000 home, 6% interest rate. I'm being democratic about that number. It's usually higher. 6%. You're paying $2,400 a month on a $400,000 home, $300,000 home. Okay, 6%. Okay, you're paying $2,400. And then that's not even including the insurance. That's not including the taxes.
No, that's not having to pay your mortgage points.
No, that's not paying your mortgage points. And even if you pay mortgage points, you still can't buy it down.
Special tax assessments on the property, nothing.
Nothing, man. Kai, what's going on? Glad you're watching me on this Sunday morning. Grizz, what's up, man? Can't wait to see what you turn out of the lab, sir. Very excited for that. BM, what's going on? Didn't mean to neglect you. Yeah. Just think about that, man. Think about that. So then when all the things we just mentioned, now you're paying $4,000 a month. And how many of us make more than that a month?
Most don't even make that. Anywhere near it.
Nowhere near it. But it doesn't stop these people from trying to get in your pockets. They're trying, oh yeah, I'll show you how to make $10,000 a month. Just buy this book. Buy my what is it? My classes, my courses.
Oh yeah, and you can start at your own online store just like 20,000 other people did last month.
Exactly. Just like 20,000 selling nothing. I tell people, as soon as somebody is starting to show me how to do it, that means the market is saturated.
Yeah, if you're trying to make money off of showing me how to do it, yeah.
The market is saturated. There's no room for me. And I'd be a fool, like so many other people out here, to spend money on you. It's insanity, man. It's insanity. But again, $4,000 a month you're paying, and that's just to have a 3-bedroom, 1-story home. Not even 3.
Well, that
Conshonery.
what's that going to cost you to heat and cool?
Heat and cooling.
Maintenance.
Heat and
Maintenance.
cooling. Dude, I'm telling you, hold on, we'll get into it. Conshonery with with the $14 super chat. Thank you, sir. The governments of the West have mastered the art of lowering morale and reducing comforts to the point where citizens will not be outraged and miserable enough to revolt against them. Yes, they have.
Yes, this is what everybody called equity.
Yep.
This is what they want when they call for equity.
This is exactly what they wanted when they called for equity.
Everyone will be miserable. You'll
And you
own
will like it.
nothing and you'll be happy.
You will
Remember that
own nothing.
commercial?
You will own nothing and you will be
And be
happy.
happy. Oh, you like that shirt? We'll rent that to you.
Yep. For $30 a month.
Yep.
It's insane, but they are renting it to you in a sense. You see all these new platforms that they have for you to pay a monthly fee. What is it? What's Affirm? A couple others that escape me right now that you
Oh,
can pay for.
like the clothes ones that they send you outfits every month and
Yeah, those. No, but I mean the financing companies.
oh yeah.
Affirm. Affirm is the number one right now. Then you have Zazzle or Dazzle or something like that, a couple others. But Affirm is the number one financing company right now because they charge you such low rates for you to buy everyday items. People are like, oh, I can pay $23 a month. Oh, I can pay $60 a month for this. And you say, hey, you shouldn't have to go without those Jordans. Hey, if you buy them through us, we'll just charge you $23 a month to pay it off.
Well, did you hear the latest announcement as concerning Jordans?
What's that, sir?
Foot Locker's closing like 500 stores.
Oh, well, yeah, that Foot Locker should have been closed. And the reason why I say that is because a few people, it's a little known fact that Foot Locker is an offshoot from Woolworths. You remember that store, sir?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Foot Locker came from Woolworths, their shoe department. That's where Foot Locker came from. When Woolworths shut down, the shoe department was so robust. They just decided to create a company, and they created Foot Locker. Remember last year, Nike had already said that they weren't giving any of the certain types of shoes to places like Finish Line, Foot Locker, and the other one, Sports Authority, not Sports Authority, Finish Line, Foot Locker, and the other one anymore. No more of those special releases, none of that. Because they had Nike.com that you can get all that nonsense from. So yeah, Foot Locker hasn't been profitable, I'd wager, for the last 5 years. Because you can just buy them all online. Why would I go stand in line? What, for the nostalgia factor? Oh, I want to stand in cold and get my lawn chair and my tent and sit out there and be like, hey, yeah, I was the first one to get my hands on these exclusive golden, without any gold in them, without any actual gold in them, Jordans.
The golden calf Jordans.
Golden calf.
That's what they are. That's
exactly what they are. It's an idol. They are, man. And then they break apart, man. It's so funny. I sometimes go down the annals of YouTube and I look up, I watch these videos and I watch people putting shoes together, fixing old shoes, Jordans from 1983 or whatever. And the fact that they were never worn and the leather is cracking and destroyed. It doesn't last, man. ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I don't care if it was made out of titanium. Eventually, it'll rust.
Oh yeah, and anything manufactured like the rubber, anything like that, over time returns to its original.
It turns to dust.
Yeah.
It'll crack and turn to dust. And it's funny. People spend thousands of dollars to collect this garbage. I mean, I remember I was working, not working. Yeah, I was working at in Korea. And at the PX, they had the Jordan 5s and they had the Raptor 7s, Jordan Raptor 7s, Olympic 7s, I'm sorry. Olympic 7s. They were selling them, Mayo, for $99 a pair. So I picked up 2 pairs of each. I never wore them. I thought, so at first I was gonna wear them. I had every intention of wearing them. But then I thought about it. I said, why would I wear these? I'm like, I don't even wear shit like this. And I said, that was an impulse buy. But it ended up serving me because when I went to my next duty station, we got into a conversation with some guys and they were talking about their shoe collections. I said, hey, would you be interested in these? And then they were like, absolutely. And then I was like, okay, let me do my research is what I'm thinking. And I'll get back to them with a price. Man, I ended up making, for the 4 pair I had, $2,000.
Oh yeah, it's nuts.
And I still think I was lowballed. Okay, I still think I was lowballed on that price. But still, on a shoe that's gonna break apart, a shoe that they will probably never wear, and if they wear it, there'll be one time to show off that they have it, and then they'll get rid of it. Kai with a $5 super sticker. Thank you so much for that $5, Kai. I'll use that to go get myself a cup of Starbucks in the vehicle that no longer works right now because it's overheating. Thank you, old man who was taking opioids who crashed into my vehicle. Yeah. I just, it's amazing. It's amazing what people will spend their money on, but that's my point. It's they spend it on. Hey, that's the only way to sound. Kai. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, people will spend their money on garbage and wonder why they're not moving forward. So when they say people weren't spending money during the pandemic, they were spending tons of money,
Just on
especially when they
crap.
got those PPP loans.
Yep. They were just spending it on crap.
On crap. The lines outside of
non-durable goods.
Non-durable goods. Nothing you could use. Think about it. Louis Vuitton, Michael Kors, all these brand names that I don't even know. What's the name of the puffer jackets that people were? Montclair jackets. All these places that were spending money on. That people were spending money on. They had lines outside of the door. That's why when people say the greatest transfer of wealth, people were buying those. I like to call it the staple black car. Black people buy this car all the time. Though that BMW, like it's a BMW kind of SUV car amalgamation. I can't think of it. You know what I'm talking about.
Like the crossover?
Yeah, they keep buying that.
The
Mercedes.
Cayenne? No, that's the Porsche version. The Cayenne's the Porsche version.
No. This thing looks like a tank. It's like it's not a car, but it isn't an SUV.
Oh, it's like BMW made a Blazer.
Yeah. This thing, it looks nice, but you see them. BMW made one and Mercedes-Benz made one. I can't remember what it is, but the point that I'm making is, yeah, the X5.
Yeah.
They all made one, and every time I looked up, I call it the black car because nothing but black women buy it. And they would spend 80 grand, 100 grand on it, customizing it the way they want it because they deserved it. They had the money coming in. 2 months later, they're on my Facebook, on our Facebook marketplace or on our neighborhood Facebook talking about how they can't afford the prices. My wife is part of Black women's homeschool group that she, because she just joins all the homeschool groups that are in the area, and they're all talking about how they can't afford it. Paying.
And those are the smarter ones.
Yep.
Of the community.
Yep. Those are the educated of the community, the ones who have degrees, the ones who say that they work hard and so then they deserve this. No, you don't deserve anything.
It's retail Xanax.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. We can't help ourselves, man. We can't help ourselves but to take the drug of retail. It's flashy. It looks good. I need something new. Look, I dropped my what's up, Uncle Tom? I dropped. Is that? Oh, that's his new avatar.
What's going on, good sir?
I was like, what is that? Anyway, I dropped my Sony headphones the other day. I have a white pair. The Sony, what's the name of them damn things? Anyway, they're the best. Not Sony, Bose. My Bose headphones. I dropped them, and nothing's wrong with them. But now they got a little scuff on them. I want a new pair. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a new pair. They're just fine. It's just a tiny scuff. But because it's not.
Yeah, you got to fight that, though. You got to fight it.
Exactly. You have to fight it. And so I'm fighting it. But my point is that none of us are immune from it. It's just the smarter of us fight the urge and just move forward. Now, if I have a warranty on it, which I do, I'll just call and be like, shit, this shit is broken. I need something more. I need something better. They'll send me out a new pair. And of course they want that old pair back. But still, it's my point is that I don't just go buy a new one because I don't like the color anymore. And that's consumerism is destroying us. But that's what I was saying before. The women, I call it the Black woman car. That X5 is a Black woman's car. They buy it. Now they're stuck with $1,500, $2,000 a month car notes. I'm telling them, I'm like, you better go sell that motherfucker. You better, man. But nobody's gonna buy it.
But then that's selling their happiness.
Yep, that's selling their happiness. That's the most important thing.
And then you have to replace that too.
Yep.
They're already upside down in it.
And they're gonna be even further upside down.
Oh, I'll never buy another new car.
No, me either, brother. Everything's used. 3 years old is what I go for. 3-year-old cars is what I.
Oh, I'm going back to the 80s. My next car will be my last.
Mm-hmm.
And I will go back to the 80s.
Man, why do you keep changing your avatars, dude? It's crazy. No, what I want is I'd like an older car. I'd like a Mustang. But
it's called a Mustang, to be honest with you, because no one wants some pieces of shit. Just saying.
Well, it depends on what generation.
I want 1969, the one that's elusive.
Yeah.
I don't want the hatchback. I want the 1969 inaugural version. That's what I want.
What you want, the Fox body style?
No.
Why not?
It's not a Fox body. No, Fox body's the 80s.
Yeah, that's 85. That's the one my brother loves. My older brother loves that one. And he's had like 5 of them throughout his years.
Yeah, he wants Elsinore from the movie.
Yeah.
He wants that Shelby GT coupe.
You damn right. He likes that 5.0.
I actually like the Mach style. The 69 Mach style.
Hold on. Let me show you the one I want.
Oh, the long back?
Yes, sir.
But I can't fit 5 children and a wife in there.
No, that's the problem. And it doesn't have enough seat, and it's only got lap belts.
Yep.
If that.
Yep. Yeah, because it wasn't standard. My brother has had 5.0s. He still loves them. That's where he came up. He's born in 70.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
we
that was
all
a big
know
car when
that
I was
the
a kid.
consumerism here these days have
74.
always fucked us up now because it's the quality of the products are shitty. So it people want to go
Oh
back
yeah.
to when quality was actually in and not just quantity. Because right now quantity was flooding these streets and it's mostly bullshit.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
all BS.
my I got a 05 F-150.
That's a good car.
And but a 350 motor with a 4-barrel carb gets about the same gas mileage. As long as you don't keep your foot in it.
Well, there's a reason behind that. We all know
Oh,
that they had to make sure we keep these gas companies, not gas companies, these fuel companies, or oil companies, fucking running. Because if that was the case, we'll have cars running on water, like was said back in what was the 70s. They had cars that running off water.
no,
So,
they didn't have any cars.
But it wasn't cars that were running. They weren't running off water. It's
no,
yeah.
it was one that was running off water.
No, it wasn't new tech. Okay, so people keep saying it's hydrogen based. I mean, a hydrogen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what it is a. Dang, I lost my train of thought. It's
They
not.
separate the hydrogen and the oxygen from water.
Yeah, but it's
Well,
not
that
even.
was different though. That was. I'm talking. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all
What are you
have it.
talking about?
I gotta remember my brain is not working right now. It's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
early in the morning for me.
I mean, people kept saying that, and it's not. It's not even. They can't. What is the term? Hydro.
Hydrogen fuel cell.
Yeah, hydrogen fuel cell. But what is it called? What is the process of separating hydrogen from water?
I know what you're talking about.
I have to look that up.
It's an evaporation process that they have two different containers where the hydrogen turns into Jesus Christ. I can see where it looks in my fucking brain, but I don't know the name of it.
Electrolysis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From water.
And then you've got two of the most flammable substances on Earth in your car.
Yeah. And the process hasn't been refined. There's no way to have an electrolyzer powerful enough to get you down the road indefinitely off of water. And so there can be a hybrid process. No, it's not osmosis. Yeah, it's electrolysis. And you
Well,
can't.
well, it's funny how that guy died, though. Just saying.
Well, I'm not saying
Yeah, but you
that.
notice a lot of people who've made crazy claims die. I don't think it's because they're killed. I think it's just because they're crazy.
If you say so, Mayo. It's just weird.
Yeah, hydrogen fuel.
Dude, if the government wanted, they could charge for water.
Yep. The hydrogen
No, they
fuel.
couldn't, because it comes out of the motherfucking sky.
They'll stop the rain. Look, when they
And in Maryland, they tax you for every square inch of property
rain that
that's not
fell on.
grass for the rain that falls on your driveway and your roof.
Especially if
Yeah,
you let them know that you're collecting it, though. You don't have to let them know you're collecting
No,
it.
it just has to interfere with it,
Ah,
and they tax
okay.
you on it.
They'll create the hydrogen police, like they created the peace police out there in LA that don't work.
Oh, the solar police are coming. Don't worry about that.
Oh, you better believe it. Econ yes, that's electrolysis.
Black
The
thoughts in
VRV.
certain states, it is illegal to catch rainwater. That is a fact.
Yeah, yeah. Oregon being one of them. Oregon, California, they want you will participate in the drought and be happy. It's insane, man. The laws, you can't kill bald eagles who are coming and harassing you. Yeah, those. What is that in Maine? Is that Maine or is it?
No, Alaska.
Yeah, Alaska, where those things are like rodents. They're
Yep.
everywhere. They're going. They're
Well, that's
stealing,
because they said they're going extinct, and
and
they
they're no
don't even.
longer. Yeah,
Yeah, we know that. I mean, I don't understand how these motherfuckers say they can count everything in the motherfucking world and say something's going
something's
extinct.
going
Bitch, you
instinct.
ain't you ain't in every spot of the goddamn globe. Is that a you say something's going extinct? That shit is
Well,
crazy.
there's a big move in the environmental movement to ban lead ammunition
Yep.
because eagles are dying because they ingest lead from carcasses they come across.
No, their fault. It's about time. We
Well,
need it.
somebody actually did the math, and the difference between eagles that died of lead ingestion hasn't changed. There's just more eagles now.
Yep. Just more eagles. But again, that's another example of people fudging the numbers.
Yeah.
They don't give you context. They'll say something is happening, but they won't tell you that there are more of said things, and that's why it's
Oh,
happening.
and the only thing that can legally kill an eagle is a windmill.
Good. Let's all put windmills all across Alaska and watch the carnage. I'm
Oh,
telling you, man.
in Maine. It's the problem is the seals.
They do have a lot of windmills in Alaska already, so
Yeah, they do. They do. You know what? I'm telling you, nobody's going to tell me what to do on my own property. If I have a dozen eagles nests hanging around my property and I can't get rid of them legally, man, I'll go and across I'll go to freaking Madagascar, go get some damn monkeys and then release them onto my property and let them go up there and steal eagle eggs or something. Something's got to give, man. I'll start a cat farm. Okay. I'll start a damn tabby cat farm just to, and put them in the barn, put them in the general vicinity to, just to cause anarchy and let them run amok to kill these damn eagles. It's insane.
Oh, a
You
couple
know,
of years back here, they nailed a guy for killing hawks and falcons in the wild. He set traps on top of his fence posts.
good.
Grizz, my bad, sir. I told people don't believe me. I'm bad at checking messages, so I'll look now.
He is bad at checking messages, man.
Hey, good afternoon, guys.
Good
What's
afternoon,
up,
Black
man?
Thoughts. What's going on,
Uh,
brother? You sound like you just woke up.
sure did. Um, I get charged. Well, actually, I was listening to you for a while, going in and out of sleep.
Yeah,
Um, I get charged for water and waste. I'm not
Oh
even
yeah,
sure how they're calculating the amount of waste I'm using, but I get charged for it. I guess based on
they're
the
they're
amount of
basing it
water,
off your water use.
off the water, right?
Yep.
and there you go. You will
Oh
own
yeah, there's a
nothing.
lot of places that won't even let you put in like irrigation wells anymore
Yes,
for
that's
your
very
irrigation
true.
system. Imagine paying town water bills for watering your lawn. That'd get expensive real quick.
Yeah, man. The sheer amount of things you can't do out here is insane. It's insane because of overregulation.
Well, remember when they had all those, and some states still do it. They do the exhaust testing, the emissions testing on the vehicles.
Yes. Yeah,
Registration.
Illinois still does that.
And it's nothing but a money grab.
That's exactly what it is. I don't even
Because
know how the system captures whether or not you are pushing out all this I'm sorry, carbon into the system. I mean, to the sky. It's never consistent. It's yeah,
Maine had it, right?
yeah,
And you would go, you buy a new vehicle, it's known good.
yeah,
After a year, you had to get it retested.
yeah.
Every vehicle would fail, right?
Every time.
And you could either you could take it to them to replace your catalytic converter, or take it outside. Now, if you took it outside to get replaced and it failed, it just failed. You didn't get your registration. But if you took it to them to get your catalytic converter replaced and it failed, you got your sticker. Tell me that's not a cash grab.
You know what? You know why? Because they're double dipping.
Yep.
Not only do they get the cost of you paying for the replacement, but they also get your catalytic converter.
Yep.
Which I would wager has nothing wrong with it.
No.
I saw an article, I don't know how true it is, that said New York might be the first state to make natural gas illegal.
Oh yeah, they're going to
Natural
make
gas.
they're going to make the natural gas stovetops illegal.
Oh yeah, they've been talking about that. I remember. I thought that they had already passed that rule in the state of New York, saying
Yeah, they
that,
already did it with wood stoves.
yeah, saying
But
that you
if you
can
have
have
one installed already, you're
grandfathered in.
grandfathered in.
Yeah, they
But
did do it with wood stoves because I remember when I was
yeah.
living upstate with my roommates, we had to take the landlord had to take the wood stove out.
Well, and then what they'll do is eventually they'll get to all the insurance company, and well, having that fire in the house is dangerous.
Yep.
So they'll run the prices up to where you'll have to get rid of it.
Yep. Anything to cause you more mental and monetary anguish. Beastly, what's up, man? Hey guys, and again, Cash App's up. Please give to the Cash App. Also, super chats are open and free to do. Please hit those. Support the show. Tell me you like what I'm doing and what we're doing by supporting. Thank you very much. Cash Apps, super stickers, and super chats. But yeah, everything is too dangerous now. You know, right? But it's not dangerous to take NSAIDs all the time to your stomach lining, right? You can just pop ibuprofen and nothing happens, right?
Oh yeah, you can take pills for a supposed chemical imbalance that they've never tested
Tested.
the balance of your chemicals.
Yeah. Well, sir, you have a chemical imbalance. I'm like, how do you know that? Did you take a spinal tap? Did you draw spinal fluid? Did you drill a hole into my brain? I mean, to my skull and test the fluid in my skull? Because that
Oh,
if you have a blood brain barrier leak, then you're all types of fucked up. So that the only way that they can get to that stuff is by drilling a hole in your head to get it. So how do they know?
because you're 40 and you don't own a Jag and you're depressed.
40, don't own a Jag, you're depressed, can't
Yeah.
go on trips.
Yeah, you're divorced. You're not living the best YouTube life you can or internet life you can.
Yep.
Here's a magic little pill.
You need to take this pill, sir. It's insane. But that's what they tell us, man.
And you'll be on those pills for life.
For
Because they
life.
change your chemical balance.
Yep. They change your brain chemistry.
But
My
take
brother's
this
on it
pill.
now. Say again?
Take this pill that may cause anal leakage or your kidneys to fail, and then we'll give you 3 more pills. You'll be
Yep.
fine.
Oh, I came across an article about Olestra a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
You remember that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
It was that. It was the first like non-digestible fat, and the big
Yes.
side effect was anal leakage.
I wonder why. It's insane, man. Like all these TRT clinics, you know. Everybody's going for that TRT shit. And
That's nothing but the latest steroid
it
craze.
is. It's nothing but steroids, but at smaller dosages. And look, don't get me wrong, it's tempting because you're like, you take this shot or you pop this chewable and your testosterone levels might increase, your libido increases or whatever. So they say, first of all, I don't have anything wrong with my testosterone. I've had it tested. I get it tested yearly and it hasn't dropped. Secondly, my libido is just fine. You see how many children I have. But it's a marketing scheme. They have to convince you.
Oh, that, and it's nothing that going back to the gym for a month won't cure.
It's nothing
for most people.
Yep. It's nothing that abstaining from sugar and going to the gym won't fix. Or going for a walk and abstaining from sugar. People underestimate the power of a walk and abstaining from sugar. It's insane. You take away your sugary drinks that you love. You take away all these extra sugars you put in your diet, and you go for a walk for 30 minutes. It's amazing the change in your physical being, your physique change.
Do you know how much Americans like sugar? Remember when what's his name? What's the billionaire that we had for a mayor in New York?
De Blasio? No, not De Blasio.
No.
Bloomberg. Yeah.
Remember when he moved to get rid of large drinks?
Yes.
They got him up out of there right after that. That's how much Americans love their sugar.
They sure did get him up out of
the problem. Sugar isn't the problem. It's the sugar replacement products that are the problem. It's the corn syrups. It's
the stevia. It's the that shut off the receptors.
Well, that stuff is carcinogenous, right?
Yeah. Yes. You remember when what was that? What's that shit called? What's that stuff called?
Sweet and low.
Sweet and low. But what's the chemical?
Aspartame.
Yes.
When aspartame was
yes. You remember when aspartame was in every freaking thing?
Oh yeah.
You remember when aspartame? I remember when it first became really popular, and they put aspartame in everything. And I was getting there was something we used to get from Aldi called Water Pop. That wasn't the name of it, but we thought it was God's gift to human beings. We were like, you mean to tell me that I can drink this ad nauseum and not get fat or not have diabetes? I'm going to drink this. When we were children, my mom would buy it all the time. But then all of a sudden we just started to get killer headaches. We were like, why am I getting a killer headache every time I drink this? Then you realize it was the aspartame killing my brain. It's insane. And then corn syrup. Corn syrup is especially insidious because it shuts off the receptors, the mechanisms that tell your brain when you've had enough. It bypasses them because it's not sugar. It's, it's insane. So you eat and 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 still believe you haven't been satisfied.
Oh, look at margarine. How long they have people believe in that lie?
Oh yeah, homogenized oils.
Yeah,
it's insane. Yeah, Conchonnery, I misspoke. It wasn't stevia that I was thinking of. I was thinking of Sweet and Low and the aspartame.
yeah.
That is there to kill you dead. Rugged said, I remember my friend's mom was about 400 pounds, ate pizza, and had a tab. The tab balanced out the pizza.
Like everybody I know that drinks Diet Coke is like seriously addicted to Diet Coke.
Yes, seriously. And that shit is disgusting. I still get headache. I can't drink anything with aspartame in it. I get a headache immediately.
It's like these new energy drinks, they're the devil.
They are, man, because they're laced with it, or some sort of natural other sweetener that they say isn't sugar. And then
or bull ball juice and every fucking thing else.
Bull ball juice or beaver booty juice, because beaver that beaver gland is what I'll tell people, man. You like vanilla flavored things. Well, thank God for the beaver, because you're eating and ingesting beaver booty juice from that gland, because it tastes it bolsters the vanilla scent. It tastes like vanilla. How did they find out?
Yeah, I got a friend that goes down to Mexico every year, so I get a big bottle of natural vanilla out of Mexico
so good.
every year.
Man, natural vanilla, Mexican vanilla is so good. When you put
and it lasts forever. The shelf life for that shit is forever.
Yes, and you don't have to use much of it in any of your baking or cooking.
No,
because it's so robust. It's delicious.
I've probably got 6 bottles of it unopened.
No chaser, man. I know a type 1 diabetic who swears by Celsius. And I'm like, it's gonna kill you, dude. He swears by it.
What is it?
Celsius is one of the newest energy drinks.
Oh,
they got all kinds of crazy flavors. I don't like it, but a lot of people swear by it, and my homie swears by it too.
I go with the original energy drink, coffee.
There you go, with no sugar, black coffee. And a lot of people say, "Oh, well, coffee doesn't keep me awake." I'm like, yes, it does. All you have to do is wait 90 minutes from the time you wake up before you have your first cup. If you wait 90 minutes, just an hour and 30,
get through that natural wake up process.
Yes, the androgens that pass through your bloodstream will pass, and then you can drink your coffee and it will have the desired effect. Yeah, hey, I wish I could produce Mexican vanilla. Vanilla's producing and manufacturing the vanilla bean is ridiculously expensive. Not manufacturing, but processing the vanilla bean is expensive. Just like these avocado farms. He's at the coffee shits. Well, listen, you won't have the coffee shits if, 1, you're hydrated. 2, you don't pack on a whole lot of food before you drink it.
Well, I always thought some of the coffee shits came from adding that milk.
That too.
That warm milk, right?
Yeah, but hot beverages also have the effect of increasing your metabolism. That's why when you, in Asian countries, before you eat, they give you hot tea. So that they used to do it all the time, man. When we were out in Korea and Philippines, they give you a cup of hot, what's that tea? Oolong or some sort of spring tea, and you would drink it and get your body ready to digest. Caffeine is a diuretic, but that's why you need to be hydrated before you drink it. Also, a lot of people pack on the food on top of yesterday's meal. You shouldn't. And I don't know who told people breakfast is the number one meal of the day. It isn't. All you have to do is wait until, let's say you're doing intermittent fasting, and that's just the new fancy term for it. Wait until 11 to eat your first meal.
Why is that?
Because you're still digesting the meal from yesterday. Drink water, like 40 ounces of water before you eat anything. Drink water first in the morning. First thing you should do. Helps clear out any of the toxins that your body was trying to filter out while you were sleeping. It helps you get clarity, help get rid of that brain fog in the morning. Water, rehydrate yourself. Your body's been working overtime while you slept. Then,
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying then, again, you're still digesting the meal before. A lot of what we think we need has just been indoctrination, clever indoctrination, like the food pyramid. You've eaten, and 9 times out of 10, people eat 30 minutes before they went to bed. Okay. So you're still digesting that meal. Even if you shat, you had a nice shit in the morning when you wake up. That's that your stomach isn't empty. Your digestive tract is not empty. It's still digesting your meal from before. Then after you've digested it, you fully digested that meal, which is usually around 11 or 12 p.m. a.m. Well, 11 a.m., 12 p.m. You should take your first meal then. But again, there are caveats. If you're working like with your hands all day, aka you Black Thoughts, you're going into God knows where to try and take apart God knows what, that's a different story.
Because
you're actually expending calories. You're burning.
Yeah, you're burning exorbitant amount of calories, man. You're on your knees. You're up on your feet. You're torquing something with your wrists. You're trying to undo something. I remember that video you sent us. He said 9 times out of 10, the most time-consuming part about putting these damn sinks together is this little piece. You remember when you said that video?
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, that makes sense. You got to have some tweezers to put that in. Otherwise, you're going to use your hands that are massive now from working them to oblivion, and calloused hands from, monkey wrenching things apart or using power tools, etc. Versus all the rest of the plebeians who sit on their behinds all day.
Oh yeah, most people could get away with less than 2,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
If they're doing a standard office job.
A healthy man should be eating around 1,900 calories a day. A woman, 1,200. Let's see. No Chaser says, with the $5 super chat, low-key Blaqs be helping your brother out. What is vocabulary? With his vocabulary. What is vocabulary? Low-key Blaqs be helping your brother out. What is vocabulary? Okay. Well, I'm glad, sir. I'm always down to use common phrases and terms to help people out. But yeah, man, that's the thing we fight every day, man. Everybody has to have their inaugural Kit Kat or Snickers bar or some sort of sweet. We all do it that we don't need, but we want, because our brain's telling us they want that easy sugar. Am I lying?
Nope.
You are correct, sir.
Oh my God.
Even more so than these crackheads. But it's funny when you see a fat crackhead.
You know what I started doing that's really bad for me?
What's that,
Like
sir?
eating snacks when I'm driving home so I don't fall asleep. I'm
You
always
got to
like
do what you.
falling asleep on the road. So I'm like, oh, let me stop and grab an energy drink and a cheese stick or a meat stick or
Yeah, to stay
a
awake.
bag of chips or something. And I'm just like, this is wholly unhealthy.
Yeah, it's killing us. But they know that they're expecting that. That's why they make sure that those gas stations are a who's who of choices. You know, that's where all the Mexicans, that's where all the vatos, that's where all the avocado pickers spend
Oh, what's
thousands.
that? What's that Texas brand? Bucky's?
Yeah, Bucky's. I love Bucky's, man. Bucky's is the greatest thing that you could ever that you could ever
It's
see.
the most unhealthy thing you could
It
ever
is.
participate.
It is, bro. And it is awesome. They got artisanal beef jerkies of all types in there. They got homemade, like they make these brisket sandwiches, pulled pork sandwiches there. You know, it's a restaurant plus a freaking road store. They have anything you want, man. Anything you want. It's a Walmart of gas stations. It's amazing. I'm
Oh no,
telling you.
chaser! I know it's absolutely terrible.
Yes, those meat sticks will kill you dead, man. But you got to do something,
Oh yeah, fried bologna is healthier than freaking Slim Jims.
yeah,
That's
Fried
saying something.
bologna.
Bologna. Yeah. Look, I'd rather do that than kill somebody on the road, right? Man, dude, you know, you used to be able to be like, man, let me pull over and take this 30 minutes. Let me get 30 winks real quick. Nope. You'll wake up with a gun to your temple or wake up in heaven or purgatory or hell. One of the two.
Either that or somebody's trying to give you Narcan.
Yep.
Can't just take a nap no more, huh?
Oh, white guy sleeping in the truck at a truck stop. Narcan. I'm serious, man. I'm completely serious.
What? That's a good question. What would Narcan do to someone that's not overdosing?
Nothing.
Nothing. There
No.
wouldn't be no sort of like health effect anywhere.
It
you
might
you
make you nauseous. That's about it.
you don't think Narcan would serve to make you addicted?
No.
Okay.
No, because all Narcan does is turn off the opioid receptors.
That's true. Well, that's the way it goes.
And
Anyway,
it was specifically they didn't find that out, as a side effect of something. That's specifically why they created it.
that's true.
So
Anyway, guys, it's been 2.5 hours. I gotta get my behind to church, but it's been a blast. Thank you, everybody, for coming up and participating in this little tete-a-tete, this conversation we've been having. Thank you for listening to my pontifications. Thank you, Black Thoughts, for coming up here. Mayo, thank you for coming up here, sir, and for participating with your wallet, sir. Hey, guys, it's me, Blaqs Who Define. Thank you for always rocking with me. And remember, the Cash App is up. You can still give to that. And Super Chats are up as well. And you can give to that and Super Stickers. Those would be much appreciated, especially since none of this is free. So, with that being said, I bid you adieu. And Porch Sessions is about to go live soon as well. I forgot. So, please, Everybody, it's not over. Porch Sessions is about to go live with Uncle Tom. And of course, Kai will be there. And I'll probably show up as well after church. And LA and Black Thoughts will most likely be there as well. And Mayo, Mayo doesn't sleep. He's a vampire. So he'll be there as well. So anyway, everyone, God bless you. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday, guys. Hope you have a wonderful start to your week. And yes, keep on giving. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Blacks who identify.